Hello everybody, my name is Jenny from Senior Perspective, and guess what? There are bonus footage scenes out there from TLC.
Unexpected bonus!
I'm going to do my best to get as many of them in here as possible for you. I might do some tweaking, some might be fast, some might be slow, some might be different colors. Whatever I need to do to alter them to stay within the compliance, and then of course we'll talk a little bit about it. So let's get started. Today we are going to start off with episodes 1 and 2. All right, episode 1, we have Cody talking about Coyote Pass at the beginning. Can I just say, I've let it go.
Oh, geez, here we go again.
I have not said anything about the way Cody says Coyote Pass, but he says it so many times in this episode that it's driving me nuts. And he says it so quick, he takes coyote, which is a 3-syllable word, and he breaks it down to a 2-syllable word. But it's not Coty, or that sound like Cody. It's Coyote, like an I. Coyote Pass. It's not like a full 3 syllables, it's like 2.5. Other times, it sounds more like a cow. It's Coyote Pass, Coyote Pass, Coyote Pass, but not Coyote Pass. We got the I, we got the cow. No coyotes.
So Coyote Pass is Coyote Pass. Coyote Pass.
Again, this is a Cody speech pattern. If you're new to my channel, I am a speech language pathologist, and I have certain episodes on Mormonism Live where I really break down Cody's speech and language. But on this channel, just when things pop out at me, I'll talk about them. I've been restraining myself for very long. I can't do it any longer. Why does he say that?
So Coyote Pass is Coyote Pass.
They do not all talk that way. Although I will say that I have noticed that Christine has done it at times as well. Okay, moving on. I got that out. I don't have to talk about it again anymore. So as Cody is reflecting on Coyote Pass, he says that he feels like Janelle and Mary, they're not going to build out on that land.
So Coyote Pass is going to fall apart like our family. In other words, Janelle might build on it, but I don't think Mary. I'm my best guess, and I don't know Mary's mind, and I'm always confused by Mary. But my best guess is eventually she'll sell it. And I'll be really honest with you. I'm not sure Janelle will ever build on it.
Oh, really? You think so, Cody? You think they might not build out there? He's brilliant, this man. But his reasoning behind it, he says it's going to be because he did not subdivide the lots like he said he was going to.
And they're going to blame me because I've been wanting to subdivide the lots or redivide the lots, and I haven't acted on that.
Okay. So they won't move out there because they're upset he didn't divide it up. I don't understand why it still can't be divided up. Inquiring minds want to know why he's waited this long to begin with, but so why not do it? Very confusing. Now, according to Cody and his words, can you take him at his word? You can't. But according to Cody and his words, we are going to take lots that are divided currently as 5.16 acres, 4.48 acres, 2.42 acres, and 2.42 acres. Take those 4 lots, divide them up, move some lines over, shift these around, turn it into 5 different parcels of land. So they own a total of 14, we'll round up and say 14.5 acres. Cody says once they restructure the land, it's going to be parcels that are 4 acres, 2, 2, and 2. So that is 14 acres, not 14.5. So who do you think is going to get the extra half an acre? Doesn't really matter. He isn't dividing up the land. As it stands right now, Janelle and Mary share a parcel of land that is 4.48 acres. Janelle also owns another parcel herself, 2.42 acres. So Janelle owns double what Mary owns. Mary owns 2.42, Janelle owns 4.48. Now, obviously, one of the reasons to divide it up is so that you don't have multiple names on one piece of property. Although Cody forgets that all the wives except for Robin can play together just fine. No matter what he says about these women, it's all just not true. They got along just fine before Robin came into the family. Did they have squabbles? Yes. Do all spouses and sisters and relatives squabble from time to time? Yes. I dismiss his accusations. So I would have to say Mary would be happier not dividing up the land, because if he divides it up 4, 4, 2, 2, 2. Mary gets one of the 2 acres. Right now she owns 2.42.
Oh.
She loses almost a half an acre if he divides it up. So, wrong, Cody. She's not upset that you haven't divided it up. And Cody doesn't know this yet, but Janelle has already said, I'm going to give Mary what's fair. So I think some of that 4.4 acre property that they own together, I don't think Janelle's going to divide it in half in terms of the money. I think she's going to give Mary a little bit more of it. Because that's who Janelle is. Despite the fact Robin is sitting on 7.58 acres. Over 7.5 acres. Robin has all in her name. Now, what's fair? Well, there's no way that Cody's going to let the wives that are left divide up the current land. So he's going to throw his name in the ring too. So if we have Robin, Janelle, Mary, and Cody divide it all up equally, they would each get 3.62 acres. So Robin would go down from over 7.5 acres to 3.62.
Okay. Hold on. Ty, I would like you to crunch those numbers again. Just crunch them, please.
Crunch.
She'd lose more than half her acreage, but that's what's fair. And she's married to Cody, who gets that much as well. And now let me just point out, we're assuming that Cody's going to be playing fair here, because technically his name is on all of it as well. He can insist that that 2.42 acres that Janelle owns, that he take half of it. And the 4.48 acres that right now Janelle and Mary share, that he takes a third of that. That would be dirty, rotten, and horrible, but he could, because he's Cody. It'll be interesting to see what happens. So at this point, Cody is reflecting some more on the fact that the only reason he and Robin are living in their $1 million house is because it's close to Coyote Pass.
Robin and I live in that house that we're in because we wanted to be near Coyote Pass. I mean, it could have been a totally different story if we weren't all planning on Coyote Pass. If I would have known Christine was going to be leaving, would I have done anything with Coyote Pass? I don't know. Well, could I buy the lots from Janelle and Mary or their shares in it? I'm like, I've banked so much on this.
So now he's wondering, maybe I should just buy Mary and Janelle out of their shares, because I don't think they're going to be building there. And if they do build there, it's just going to be awkward for me. Really awkward for you, Cody.
Building there together is going to be weird if the family's not together.
Just going to be awkward having these women who I'm not in a relationship with anymore living so close. I don't think I want to do that. Like they do. He's so delusional to think that there's even a flicker in their mind of, should I build on Coyote Pass? It's going to be weird. It'd be weird to build there if we're not all together as a family. Don't you think? And then he goes on to quantify that, which he rarely quantifies anything, but he quantifies this and says, and by weird, I mean...
When I say weird, it's just like bizarrely different, out of the norm of what I ever thought my life would be. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
It's not going to happen, Cody. Wake up! They are not going to build on the land. I just had to point out this one line.
The norm of what I ever thought my life would be. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. This dysfunction of our breakup.
The dysfunction of our breakup. He loves the word dysfunction. He throws it in wherever he can. What do you even mean by that, Cody? Do you mean as opposed to all the other breakups that people have that just go swimmingly? Smooth as silk. But you have to struggle with these wives who are making it dysfunctional. I can't with this man. Let's move on. We are back to the sprinkle. Do you remember that scene where McKelty was a little bit demeaning to Aspen when Aspen said, somebody's going to have to teach me how to play 21 here because I don't know how to play. And McKelty says,
do you know how to count to 21? Yes, that's how you play the game.
Do you know how to count to 21? That's how you play. Oh, really?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Did I win? That's not how you play. Well, in this bonus scene, we have Christine correcting McKelty and going, that's not what you do.
No, it gets confusing because aces can be either
Ace
11
is a 1 or an 11.
So
that's
easy. I can remember that.
And 10, Jack, Queen, King are all 10. So if
ace
you
is
have
best. So ace
Right,
and
it's
ace
fun.
and a 10 is best, and the odds are technically the
You wanna
odds of the
get to
game
21.
are.
You want to get to 21.
Yes, but if you pass 21, you lose all your chips.
Okay,
So
so
once you hit 17, you don't want any more cards.
okay, because the odds are higher if you're getting something.
And if you have two 10s, you can split them and go for two hands. But if you also have two aces, you can split them and go for two hands.
I've learned it all. I'm good.
No. There's face cards, they're worth 10, then you have the ace, that's worth 11, but it could also be worth 1 if you want it to be, and then there's splitting a hand, but you can only split the 10s, and then you have 2 separate hands at that point. But besides splitting, there's also staying, and then there's hit me, and...
Oh, right, it's more than just counting to 21. All right, this last little segment surprised me. I was going to say something on my original video about it, but then I thought, I don't know. And then it came up again, so now I have to say something. So Christine shares that there's no gambling in Utah, so they got professional dealers to come in and do the dealing, and they were just using chips. Professional dealers. Okay. Either she was really taken, or these are the youngest dealers in history. Especially, not just dealers, professional dealers. I dismissed it on the original episode. I saw them, and then I'm like, oh, not like dealers. She must have just said like some dealer. I figured that they were like nephews in the family or something like that. These boys look like they're all of 12 years old.
And just to keep it fun, we hired professional dealers. They can't actually gamble in the state of Utah.
Do you really think they're 21? Not only 21, but have become professional dealers, have gone through the training to become professional dealers? I mean, when they leave here, where are they going? To a T-ball game? They look so young. Okay, maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm getting old. But if those little boys are 21 years old, oh my word, something doesn't smell right. I think she's lying. I might be wrong. Maybe I'm just old.
You are old.
Our next scene is really nice. Remember the move. So we're at Maddie's house, and Christine and Janelle are there helping, and Maddie was helping too, pack up and move Isabelle to go from North Carolina back to Utah. Now, if we reflect for a moment, in the original episode that we saw, it really got the feeling of Isabelle doesn't want to be anywhere around her mom. They really pushed the narrative of she went across the country to get away, and now a year later she's decided she's going to come back to go to college but not at all live with her. Even Christine was the main one too, saying not living with me. I think she was just trying to be kind of funny about it, because Janelle stated in the original episode that it was time for Isabelle to move back. She missed her mom. Now, I thought that was Janelle just being Janelle, because Janelle's so nice. I think she was putting a spin on it. Like, all right, she needed to move away. She took this year. She went to college. She helped out Maddie. She got closer with Maddie. She spent all the time with her niece and nephew. And now she's going to go off and transfer to a college in Utah, just because it's easier when there's holidays, et cetera, to be close to home. But then we get this.
It's hard living away from your mom. Like, it's really hard living away from your mom. Like, as fun as it was living with Maddie and getting this experience, it was hard, really hard living away from my mom. So I'm excited to go back and live near her, but like 15 minutes away and in a different house. So we're apart. So like, it's not like constant every single day. However, just being near her, I think will help too.
Yes, Isabelle's own words. She missed her mom. They didn't put that in the original episode. That would have had a whole different tenor to the feeling of that whole scene if just that one line were put in there. I feel like TLC done Christine wrong in that episode. And that's just my opinion. Tell me what you thought. Anyway, they go on. They asked both Maddie and Isabelle what was it like living with your sister for this past year? And Maddie said that they got very close to each other and that the two of them work really well together.
I think Isabelle being here was it was amazing. It was a really good experience. It was a good experience for both of us. We got a lot closer. I also think in the grand scheme of the family, it brought more closeness that was already there, but even more so to the siblings from different moms.
Isabelle also shared that it was smooth. They got along well. It was a great year.
I think like Maddie and I got really, really close, I think. So like we just have this like flow, and like especially like living here, we kind of just have to work around each other. So I think we got to know each other really well and like how we like to do things, and so we're just able to like work very well together. And also like just all of us, I think all the four of us work really well together, like Mom, Janelle, and me and Maddie. I think just like they're really good people who get along with each other, and I think that shows us that we can get along too, just like moms working together like that.
Sweet. Okay, the next bonus scene we have is after Maddie and Isabelle and the whole caravan make it back to Utah. Everybody was in McKelty's house, and Axel was running around like a chicken with his head cut off, as a lot of little boys his age do. They share that he is a very active little boy.
That is the gift that keeps on giving.
Axel, it's a tornado.
Axel is all boy. He climbs trees, he breaks his arm, and then as soon as it's out of a cast, he's climbing the tree again. Maddie really encourages them to play outside and not be so much inside. Yeah, he's just all boy.
And Maddie at this point is giving him options of, if you want to run around like this, you can, but you have to put your shoes on and you have to go outside and do it.
It's a tornado.
McKelty is all about tornadoes.
Axel, okay, let's not run right now, okay? If you want to run, you can go outside. So you got to put your shoes and socks on and take it outside. You say.
And just watching that little scene with Maddie explaining to Axel what his choices were made me think, really, Maddie is she's a great little mommy. It's exactly what you do. You don't get yourself all upset and freaked out and start yelling at the kid, don't run, don't run, don't run. I mean, how many times have we seen somebody do that at their kids, just screaming at them, telling them, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Maddie did what every parenting book tells you to do. Don't say no. You give them two choices. That puts the power back in the hands of the kid, according to the kid. But the kid doesn't realize mom really had the power because the two choices she's giving you are things that she wants you to choose between. In this situation, Maddie didn't care if he was outside or inside, but if he was going to run around, it would be outside. If he wanted to stay inside, he could keep his shoes off, but he's going to have to choose another activity. This is parenting 101 that I swear 90% of parents never got a hold of. I use this technique, probably 100 times a day. If I fed the kids a meal that I knew they weren't really thrilled about, they had a choice. Do you want it on the Disney princess plate? Or do you want it on the Dumbo plate? Oh, the Disney princess plate. Okay, here's your food. Boom, boom, boom. They eat it up. I specifically remember a time I did this with my son. My son loved McDonald's.
There should be McDonald's everywhere.
Lived for McDonald's.
McDonald's! I got McDonald's.
We didn't go very often when we were growing up. I didn't have a whole lot of money. Fast food was expensive when you can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at home. So when we did go, it would always be McDonald's, 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 McDonald's.
Hello, welcome to McDonald's.
After preschool one day and a lot was going on and I didn't have time to make lunch, I just started saying, there is no McDonald's today.
But what about McDonald's?
Which is true, there was going to be no McDonald's that day. So it really wasn't a full-on lie. There's no McDonald's today, I'm so sorry. But there is a Taco Bell and an Arby's on the way home.
This isn't McDonald's, okay?
Which one do you want? The Taco Bell or the Arby's?
Let me think.
I like Arby's.
Get some Arby's?
Taco Bell?
Yes.
Tacos, 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 tacos tonight.
What about Taco Bell?
Now, that being said, I have lied in the past. I do remember my son was addicted to chicken nuggets. He refused to take a bite of the hamburger. He wouldn't eat anything else. He just wanted chicken nuggets. So I do remember driving up, and when I looked at the ordering sign, I turned around and told him, I'm like, oh, they're out of chicken nuggets. It says right here on the sign. He was like 3 or 4. He was in preschool, I remember. I said, shoot, do you want to go home and eat, or do you want to try a cheeseburger or a hamburger? How my son took a bite of his very first cheeseburger. I was just trying to expand his palate. And I didn't want him to be that kid that would go to a friend's house and spend the night and they go into McDonald's and come back with all these burgers, and my kid's like, I don't like that.
You only eat chicken nuggets.
He's still a little bit of a picky eater. I wasn't very successful in that, but he was my third child. I did way better on the first 2. All right, moving on. Sorry, distracted. Oh, that was it for episode 1. We are moving on to episode 2. Episode 2, very short, only 2 bonus clips. Both of them are in relation to Janelle. Now, the first one is with Maddie, and this is a time when they were driving back to North Carolina. So they're having a discussion. They're talking about the property, Cody Pass.
Coyote Pass.
Sorry. After today, I'm not going to say that again. I'm going to try not to. No promises. Janelle's reflecting on the fact that she wanted to move to North Carolina for a long time, but she just didn't think she could. She didn't think she could get property on her own. She was nervous about it all. It was a very interesting insight into a little bit of the psyche and the thoughts and the internal dialogue of Janelle.
Before Cody and I really split, I'd been trying to reconcile my desire to go to North Carolina because I love North Carolina. My grandmother was born and raised Southern. Like, I spent a lot of time there in the summers, more in the Florida, Georgia area, but I love the South. So I really wanted to go to be by them, to buy a house close to them or something. And I was having a hard time reconciling with what I needed to do with my obligation to be here. And then once the family fell apart, I was like, oh, I can go to North Carolina.
What about livestock? We had chickens. Oh, there's Evie.
You can
run and grab her.
do anything.
We can do anything.
You can do anything here.
Believe it or not, even a lot of the rural pieces now, like land that's in a rural area, have covenants and restrictions. We don't want that. Not that we're going to do anything crazy, but we don't want anyone to tell us what we can and can't do. That just bugs us. All of a sudden, we started looking at these properties in the West, and they were interested in doing it too. And I'm like, oh, like having Maddie and Caleb involved changes the paradigm in extremely. I couldn't do this by myself. I will work hard and I can do all that, but I don't want to do it all by myself. So to have them involved, it's a whole different world.
Because we see Janelle as like this strong woman, right? She can do anything, she can go anywhere, but she has a huge tender heart, which is what made us so upset about the fact that she was so giving to Robin and Cody, and that it doesn't appear to be coming back to her. But that's a separate conversation. So she seems so strong. She's very smart. She's book smart. She's math smart.
It's like, how do you calculate? How do you figure that out? It's so confusing.
She's an accountant. It seems like it wouldn't faze her to go move somewhere else, but like it did. And I don't really judge her for it. I was shocked when I watched this bonus scene, but then I started thinking, you know what? Don't we all have something that's that internal voice that's our insecurity in our head? We often don't share that with anybody. We just kind of keep it inside. It wasn't until the opportunity came where she could connect with Maddie and together they would get a property that she realized, I'm not stuck here in Flagstaff. Now, that being said, let's keep in mind, she is property poor. She has no assets except for Coyote Pass. And we still have to see in this season how that plays out and if Robin and Cody decide to be fair about it or not. I'm highly doubtful, given the way that Cody acted when Mary tried to make it fair and say, we have 14 and a half acres. If we're going to divide it all up, wouldn't I get like 4 of them? Do I still get my 2? And Cody's like, yeah, I wasn't thinking about giving you any more. Yeah, just the 2. Cody's not a fair man.
I just knew that there was now 2 more acres. And so does that mean like I get them because Robin and Janelle each have 4?
I'm not thinking that.
I understand. Oh, I understand what he's saying.
Cody is probably one of the most selfish men I've met, seen on television, encountered in anywhere in my life. I'm trying to think if there's anybody more selfish. I honestly can't think of anybody. Maybe I could come up with somebody if I thought long and hard about it. But no, right now he's at the top of the list. So I will be shocked if he actually gives Janelle and Mary what they're due, especially Mary. But there's all the investment. Janelle gave half of the proceeds from the sale of her house to Robin and Cody to buy their current house. Now, she kept half of it. I just saw that episode again the other day. I thought she gave it all to them. She didn't. She kept half of it. But she gave them over $100,000.
Allegedly.
So will she get that back? I don't know. I guess we'll have to stay tuned and keep watching this season. So here's Janelle. She felt obligated to stay on the property, but now her world has opened up. It's like the clouds have parted and the angels are singing and Janelle can move on. God bless Maddie and Caleb, because clearly they saw this situation with their mom and they knew that she would be fine moving on, but they gave her that extra little nudge that she needed to pick up and go. Okay, in the second scene, we have Janelle saying, I hope that there will be peace between my kids and Cody. I mean, I hope so too, for the sake of the kids.
But I hope that there will be some sort of peace with Cody and the kids, like my kids.
But I don't think that's going to happen since this was recorded. Well, the talking head interview was recorded at least a year ago. And we know right now there's really no communication with the kids and Cody. Now, back when she did this interview, a year and a half ago, we don't know exactly when the interview was done, she did say at that time, if Savannah needed Cody, he would be there.
I mean, if she really needs him and she calls him and says, Dad, I need you, he will show up for her. So that kind of gives me hope. He did. We had to have the car in to get serviced, and he did. He was right on the spot with getting her a car to drive. Like, he brought her one of their cars to drive.
And she was happy with it. She's like, well, that's a start.
But
that's a step.
Yeah.
Do they go out together still to eat or anything like that?
Not a lot. Okay. Not a lot. So I'm hoping that will just eventually kind of morph, and everybody will be like that, you know. He's still very much at odds with all the other children, but, you know, that's good. That's a start.
It's a start. It's going to putter out pretty quickly, but it's a start. You're right. And she even admits that during this period of time, Cody is not coming to see Savannah.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, he sees Savannah occasionally. Cody is not present every day or even every week in Savannah's life. It might be every month or 6 weeks or something. I don't know.
She's like, yeah, not that much. Well, he was only seeing her every month or 2 months. So if now he's not seeing her that much, he's not seeing her. Oh, so wrong. Savannah did nothing to Cody. Nothing. She is the sweetest, kindest. She hasn't said a negative word against him at all. She's always like, it's okay. I understand. Oh, bless her heart. All right, that's all we have. That's all we have for episodes 1 and 2. I'm going to do a separate video for episode 3 and then another one for episode 4. 3 might not be that long, but 4 has a lot to talk about. So I'm going to separate them. Otherwise, it's going to be a really long video. So come on back when we watch the bonus scenes from episode 3. Okay, sister friends, take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.